It's a lovely, another beautiful day, lovely afternoon. We don't take it for granted. Wherever you're watching me from, is it good morning, good evening, good afternoon? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Martha Soipan and Karibu Sana, coming to you live from 254 Nairobi, Kenya. I'm a proud daughter of the Kenya. That is my motherland. I am very proud of being a Black woman from Africa. Karibu. Now, a lot of people are going through depression and people have taken it lightly so much. And people think depression is just a normal or just any other disease that comes and goes. But you have never thought of going deep to understand what depression is all about. Depression is not meant for old people, neither it is meant for young or even for small age. Depression is for everybody, and depression comes in a manner that no one will even think or expect. Depression comes because of a mental health. If you have an issue with mental health, definitely that is a depression without an alarm. When you see people walking along our roads today, along the streets, you see them carrying papers, looking for jobs. Even by the time that person lacks a job, by the time that person lacks maybe financial help, emotional help, that automatically triggers their mental health. And through mental health, that is where people go into depression. One of the most important, or one of the things that triggers a lot of depression or brings depression is when someone lacks emotional help from the word go. When you reject, as a parent, when you reject a child or when you show less concern to a child when they are growing up, because most of us have faced rejection from childhood. And so as you grow thinking so much. You go thinking, where did I go wrong? Was I not supposed to be born? Why do everybody reject me? Why do everybody hate me? That causes depression. Because every time you're in your thinking, your mental health is not stable. You're always thinking negative. You always think, why? Because of what is surrounding you. Because of what is reaching out to you. Because the minute you feel rejected from home, you also feel rejected from community. You lack a stable job. You lack a good income. You think a lot. When a child comes from school and comes home and finds whatever he or she expects doesn't get, that child starts thinking. And the minute that child starts thinking, they end up in depression. Most parents I know have been called in school and have been told there's something disturbing your child. Your child's grades are going low. Your child is never concentrating in class. And at the back of your mind, you're like, a child cannot be depressed. A child cannot think. No. And that is why I've started by saying depression is not only meant for elderly or meant for us who are that middle age. Depression can get anybody. Even a small child can be depressed. Why? Because of what they are seeing or what they are facing every day in the home, the way they are brought up. Depression can start from there. So how do we overcome, or how do we try to make sure that people are not depressed? The minute you see a colleague, you see a friend not in their right mind, it is high time people start going for mental health treatment, visit a psychiatrist, visit someone, speak out. Don't let your mental health take you to depression, because coming out from depression, it is not easy. I once told you people, by the time I realized I was already depressed, it is my son who realized. Why? I had locked myself in my house. I was not taking a shower. I was just there. I was just like a zombie. And by the time I was taken to the hospital, I was already a depressed person. And you never realized, you always don't realize when you're getting depressed. You always see it like just a normal thing, like a daily routine. I will not shower today. I will not go out today. I will not talk to anybody today. That is depression killing you. And all that is caused by mental health. Why? Because you're not stable. Why? Because you're not at your right senses. Why? Because whatever is surrounding you is not giving you a go ahead. All you see is dark, 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 dark. And it is because we lack someone to talk to. We lack someone to embrace our fears. We lack someone who can look through and realize that you're not okay. And that is why I always say, make sure you have someone you can give a call. And I've always said my lines are always open. I may not be the right person, but I've always said, because I have been through that journey, I know what it feels. I know what it can cause. I know the dangers that someone can go through when you're depressed. And I always say, make sure you always pick a phone and check up on your friends. Some of us, we just keep quiet. We don't check up on our friends. We don't even pick a call to know how they're doing. And maybe by the time you pick up a call and just ask someone, it's been long I've talked to you. How are you feeling? What is happening? You maybe that call of yours can be saving a depressed person that day, and you never know. So let's avoid just thinking that everything is okay. When you see people walking, you think everybody is okay. You just think maybe you're the only one going through a lot. A lot of people are going through, and depression is there. Depression is there. It's not moving. It's there. And right now, especially the kind of life we are living, even the economy in our country, everything that is happening around us, a lot of people are dying of depression. And all that is caused by mental health. And I always say it is good. It is good. Even as we do our works of heart run, let's do also a work of mental health awareness, because people are going through a lot of mental health issues, and we have no one to come out and give people what they need, make people aware that these things exist. And the minute people understand what mental health is, we are going to avoid depression, because depression comes when one is already into a mental health issue. And so, and also to avoid mental health issues, especially in our young children, our young generation, as parents, let's avoid bringing our problems to our kids. Let's avoid conflicts in front of our kids. Let's avoid removing our frustration with our kids, because most of us have also caused that. Because the minute you come from work, you're frustrated, you feel like my partner is not doing the right thing. You pour all your frustration maybe to your kids, and that affects our kids. And also at the same time, let's encourage our kids even in school. I thank God, because our schools today, they are having guidance and counseling. But most of us have always rejected our kids going there. They think that our kids are being taught what is not supposed to be taught. Let's encourage them to attend those classes. You as a parent also at home, if you feel like you're frustrated, you feel like you need to pour your heart out, go and look for someone who you know can listen to you. Because the minute you start pouring your frustration to your kids, that is why you're seeing even most of our kids are getting into mental health issues, later into depression. Later, we are healing something that cannot be healed. It's either a stroke, it's either death, it's either diabetic. Some diseases that are coming you cannot even imagine. You at a young age, your child can be that sick. Why? All this is being caused because of the frustration that you're going through around our circle, and yet we come and pour it to our children. And I'm talking about this because most of the people who are depressed nowadays are the young generation, are our kids. And we are the cause. I know I'll get a lot of hate back, because I'm really pointing a lot to parents, but it is the truth. If someone does not tell you the truth, where else do you expect to get the truth? You get home, sometimes you're frustrated, you've left work, whatever you expected, you never got it. And by the time you get home, maybe your child asks you for something. Your child has a right to ask you for something, and your child does not know whether you have money or not. So you don't have to shout back at them and remove all your frustration. Your work is just to ask for money. You don't know, even today I've come home empty-handed, blah, 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 blah. The minute you pour all that to your child, what does it mean? Your child, already you've destroyed the mental health of that child. And from that, they don't expect positivity from that child. That child will always think and think and think and think and think and think and think. And later on, you'll be called to start curing a disease you never expected, you never imagined, you never planned for. Something you'd have avoided from day one. Myself, I always tell myself, or what I always do when I feel I'm frustrated, when I feel like my heart is pounding, my heart is full, and I have no one to talk to. Even if I try to pray, I'm not able to pray. Do you know what I do? I make sure my child is not in the house. I lock myself in the house. I scream and I cry my heart out. And then maybe after an hour, I feel that burden is off. And I have so many questions that people tell me, Soipan, how did you overcome your depression? What points did you make in your life? What changes did you say you will not do? That's a topic for another day, and I will definitely answer you. So for today, if you feel frustrated, you feel your heart is full, try and do what I do if you have no one to talk to. Myself, because I have no one I trust with my problems apart from God. And sometimes I feel my heart is so heavy that I cannot talk to anybody. And even if I try to pray, I'm not able to pray. What I do, I lock myself in my house and I'm alone. I scream my heart out and then I cry. And every time I cry, trust you me, I feel better. I always feel my heart is unburdened. So even if my son comes later and finds my eyes are swollen, he always knows, Mom, why are you praying? Yes, I was praying. That's why I cried so much. That's why my eyes are swollen. And we continue. Let's try and avoid pouring our frustration to our kids, because it's really causing a lot of depression if you don't know. And it is high time we stop. Can we stop? Can we stop? Can we stop? Can we stop? Let's go for mental health classes. Understand yourself, understand your mental issues, understand your emotionals. Some of us even don't know how to control your emotions. Go for these classes. They are there. And they're not that expensive. Understand yourself and try to compose yourself in a manner that will not pour your frustration, and we will definitely, at the end of the day, we will definitely avoid depression in our families, depression in our society, depression to our kids. Shalom and God bless.